Hi, I'm Michael Berger. Got a question for you. Are you at a point in your career right now where you're uncertain? Maybe it's the job, maybe your ability. Maybe you got a bigger question about some life decision you're trying to make. You're going to want to hear this. I recently gave a keynote to a very successful skincare company. Had the salespeople, had the trainers, even had the CEOs in the room. And they were wrestling with this, the motivation, the challenge of inspiring their teams. Common struggle I see with a lot of companies I speak with and coach. In their case, the new hires were uncertain about this new job. The more seasoned people, see if this rings a bell, were facing burnout and uncertainty if they could find the motivation to continue to do what they're hired to do. Look, whether it's sales or management or running a company, uncertainty can creep in and bring you and your business to a grinding halt. Give me a couple of minutes and I will show you how to prevent that and how to learn to leverage into uncertainty. Now, telling you to leverage uncertainty sounds like an oxymoron. It's really a call to action. I can pick any industry, any occupation. Let's start with sales. I know what you do for a living is not easy. You got cold calls, you got those 6-touch cycles, you got the 2 years it takes to land a producing client. None of that stuff is easy. None of it is certain. Regardless, trusting in the uncertainty can put you on that path to success, whether it's new or maybe you just need to rediscover it. Look, we know there's no guarantee in life or work, but people who succeed embrace the uncertainty, and every successful person I've met or interviewed does something about their own situation despite those fears, despite their doubt. It's called accountability. Look at this great quote from Theodore Roosevelt. In any moment of decision, the best thing you can do is the right thing. Next best thing you can do is the wrong thing. The worst thing you can do is nothing. So missing your sales goal is not the problem. Doing nothing is. That is failure. Successful people don't stand around waiting for someone else to figure out their problem. They don't whine that someone got past the gatekeeper and they couldn't get in. Look, whining is like sitting in a rocking chair. It'll give you something to do, but it's not going to get you anywhere. And by the way, if you need somebody to supervise you and hold your hand and show you what to do when you're stuck, yeah, you shouldn't be in sales. And it certainly won't move you forward in a company looking for people to promote. It's up to you. You got to take that shot. That's why I love this quote from Michael Jordan. You want to be inspired? Look at this. I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and I missed. I failed over and over and over again, and that is why I succeed. People look at successful people and say, oh, I can't do that. I haven't got their skill. I haven't got their talent. Well, I say to you, if you're comparing yourself to Jordan, you're right. You don't have his skill. You can't do what he does. But without sounding like a bumper sticker, you can do what you do. You've got talent. No one should put a stop on that. Look, if you're looking for something that you might have in common with Michael Jordan or any of the thousands of successful people I've interviewed, from presidents, CEOs of Fortune 500 companies, I even sat down with the one and only Oprah for an hour. You want to know what you have in common with Oprah and all these successful people? It's doubt. Yeah, successful people have doubt as well. Look, more importantly, they continue to have it. They sit exactly where you are right now, wrestling with motivation and uncertainty. They hold their head in their hands thinking, can't do it. Don't know if I want to do it. Don't know if I should do it. Look, name the excuse. No one is immune to that. You are not alone. However, you got to know, individuals succeed because they don't let uncertainty stop them. They ignore their doubts. They keep pushing forward. They are relentless when the only thing they got left to fuel themselves is their own relentlessness. Let me prove it to you. You think back to a time when you started. Weren't you a little more aggressive? Maybe you didn't take no for an answer because you didn't know if you're going to make your rent. Right? So you tried again and again and again. You might have said to yourself, I got nothing to lose here. Whether you know it or not, that is motivation. Let me give you a personal story. I started my career down a path of uncertainty. My first job was doing stand-up comedy on cruise ships. And when I got to the point I could keep 1,500 passengers from going to the buffet, I knew I had an act. I would go on at midnight, the same time they started the buffet, and it was my goal, to me, to see if I could keep these people from leaving my show and eating again. In fact, if they got up in the middle of my act, I'd have to call them out. Seriously? Gonna eat? Okay. It's only been 2 hours. You just had dinner. Yeah, a lot of people didn't get up during my show. One night, after a show, passenger comes up and goes, hey, you're pretty funny. Got a friend of mine that works at NBC, and they're doing a new game show, and they're considering going with a host that's unknown. Someone new, someone different, someone undiscovered. I'm going, hey, you've just described my resume. I couldn't be more undiscovered. I'm on a cruise ship coming back from Ensenada. It's midnight. I got 1,000 drunk people here. I couldn't be further from show business. Guy says, well, look, give me your demo tape. I'll see what I can do. We exchange cards. I get off the ship, and guess what? I got nothing. No, I have no demo tape. This is my first gig in show business. I barely had an act, let alone promotional materials. So I went out and I put $2,500 on my credit card, which I didn't have. Had credit cards, I didn't have the money. Now I'm barreling down this path of uncertainty, and I take this money and I buy video equipment, which you see there. Now remember, this is at a point where there's no cell phone, there's no pocket-sized camera, there's no selfie. Now this was a big system, two-piece. Camera had a cord attached to a full-size VCR because you had to shove a full-size VHS tape into this thing. And that was the portable model. And I would drag this out the ship with a tripod, and I would set it up in the back of the room, and I would push record and just hope for the best. I would shoot show after show after show. One night, cruise director comes up to me and says, hey, would you mind filling in and hosting the passenger talent show? I got other things to do. I said, yeah, whatever you need, absolutely. At this point in my career, I'm not saying no to anything. I am relentless about this goal. The reason I share this story with you, and may you be lucky enough to have this experience in your career, this was the moment that I realized this is what I wanted to do with the rest of my life. It was my aha moment. You see, I loved hosting more than stand-up. Turned out to be a game changer. I've hosted 10 different television shows, every network. I've hosted 4,000 hours of TV. This hosting thing became such a focus that my very first demo tape was 6 minutes of me not doing stand-up, but emceeing these passenger talent shows. Now, this is long before America's Got Talent. You had people on a cruise ship having fun. Like I said, midnight, maybe a couple of pops, they'd get up and do whatever. Singers, dancers. I had an 85-year-old woman get up and tap dance to the Lord's Prayer. Don't even know what to say to that. I had a guy grab the mic out of my hand and say, you must be saying something very funny, but I don't get it. In fact, that was the last clip on my demo tape. That 6-minute tape got me an interview at NBC, and now I'm sitting across from casting, and they say to me, do you know why you're sitting here? I said, yeah, someone was nice enough to recommend. No. It was that last clip with the old guy. So what do you mean? The guy goes on to say, when that guy grabbed the mic out of your hand and got a huge laugh, you didn't try to come back over the top with another laugh of your own. You let the guy have his moment.
I'm sure he started out as all of,
you must be saying something very funny.
I really didn't know what that meant. I do now, and I want you to know what that means now. If you take nothing from this short little clip, you gotta know it's not about you. It's about them. Make the person you're talking to the focus of your attention, and they will beat a path to your door. They will buy from you. They will promote you. They'll make you a success. By the way, I got the show. Here's day one. This is a picture of the NBC studio in Burbank. That's Johnny Carson's spot a few years back. You go down a few more, Pat Sajak, Vanna White, whatever happened to them. And there I am at the end. I'm 6 spots down from the legend, Johnny Carson, king of late night, driving a car my uncle gave me. But I've arrived, right? Here's the point, and the punchline to that story. That show never went anywhere. It was a pilot, a test show. It didn't get picked up. I mean, I thought this was a slam dunk. There's nothing to show business. I get off the boat, I step onto the stage at NBC, I host a game show, they see me work, it's all good. Career set. Hold on, not so fast. That's not how it works. What I learned at a very early age was, oh, I guess I got to trust in this uncertainty. Apparently this is what I signed up for. This will be my career. Look, in sales or any other business, nothing is guaranteed. In fact, the moment we believe we got it all sewn up, we have it all figured out, that's the beginning of the end. Once complacency sets in, when we are no longer uncertain about the money or the success, the desire to pursue it can diminish. It can temper our ambition. Garry Kasparov, Grandmaster chess champion, calls it the gravity of past success. Isn't that a great quote? Once we have a certain level of success, we sometimes eliminate the things that got us there. Success can be just as detrimental as failure if we don't adapt, if we're not accountable. Uncertainty has that kind of gravitational pull that'll make or break you. Make us rich, make us poor. Put you on the path to success or take us in the other direction. I need you to leverage into the uncertainty. It will put you on the path to success. By the way, I could talk about this stuff until my camera battery starts to flash. If you would like to hear more, if you'd like me to speak to your business, motivate your team, Videos and booking information is all right there at michaelberger.com. I would be remiss if I didn't thank Rob and Carol, the CEOs of that company that just hired me. Their company is called Environ. Now look, I'm not getting paid to say this. I'm not a spokesperson for them, but if you're curious, if the stuff they sell works, I've been using their skincare products for the last 9 months every day. Here's my before shot. Here's me after. I'm just saying. They were delightful to work for and with, and I'm happy to say the feeling was mutual.
You're beautiful. You're beautiful. You're beautiful.